Experiences and mementos over everything. Pop culture's heating up. We've got some rare flair. Get ready to get rocked in this wrestling card market watch for December 2021. What's up, wrestling fans, trading card collectors? Welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Cards. Each month I like to do one of these videos looking back at some interesting cards and interesting sales from the previous month. December was no different. Although in my opinion I would probably classify a lot of these cards and sales more in the odd or thought process category. Because a lot of the things that I've picked, it's not as much about the dollar amount, but more the idea behind the card and why something might be collectible or why somebody might pay a price that they did. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. 2021 Topps WWE Grand Metalik Ring Used Matte Relic, 99 cents plus $3.55 shipping. We've all seen the Matte Relic cards. Going all the way back to Fleer products through today, Matte Relics, and we'll even throw t-shirt relics, are kind of no exception to wrestling cards. Most of the time these matte relics don't carry a lot of value. That being said, I think for some collectors, these items could be really awesome adds to your PC. And my thought process behind this is tying together specific memories with specific events. I've talked in previous videos and podcasts about how making a play on some matte relics for monumental events such as a specific WrestleMania or Royal Rumble, from a monetary perspective, or if you're trying to flip those, or just a cool piece to have, that's something you might look at. But what about the collectors out there who actually attended the events? I've actually heard of collectors putting together wrestling card sets that have relics in them based around a specific event that they attended in person. Or maybe it was an event that actually got them into wrestling or sucked back into wrestling if they hadn't been watching for several years. And my logic here is that regardless of whose picture is on the front of the card, these matte relic cards could signify a piece of memorabilia that brings back memories and nostalgia. And by doing this, you're also looking at cheaper cards, which is great in my opinion. Every card has a home somewhere. Just because it's not some kind of super high-end card that makes the hobby headlines doesn't mean it's not important to someone. 1998 Topps WCW NWO Jay Leno, number 41, $4.99. However, a best offer of $4.22 was accepted. Wow, Jay Leno, of all people? We know pop culture has kind of been getting more popular, and I've myself seen it in my eBay sales. Selling a lot of like Panini Americana, I've sold some American Idol cards. I'm not sure why, but people love pop culture. And since this sale, WrestlingTradingCards.com's own Tony Vella has actually sold a copy of his, and it went for a lot more than this. So it begs the question, is some of these oddball wrestling cards that feature celebrities that me and Tony have actually talked about on the Worlds Collide podcast, are some of these getting more popular, and could we start seeing this trend in other aspects of wrestling cards? Maybe people are starting to get more creative when they're looking to make money on something or something that might go up in popularity. And I know $4.99 is not a lot, and I believe Tony sold his for like $15 or $20, which again is not a lot, but considering this was a card that many people didn't even think about, or may have been in the dollar bin or the quarter box at a card show, that's saying a lot about how people are digging into wrestling cards. 2021 WWE Topps Transcendent The Rock Legends Tribute. It's a 25 card set sealed, $317.05 with $8.45 shipping. As a side note, they also have a Ric Flair tribute set that's exactly like this Rock one we're going to talk about, but I just want to throw that out there. So if I'm understanding this set correctly, there were 50 of them produced, one in each box of Transcendent. Each set comes sealed and contains a total of 25 cards. There's a couple of things I wanted to touch on with these. It has this junk wax era vibe. Now, hold on. Don't throw tomatoes at me yet. What I'm saying by that is, you remember in the junk wax era when you used to be able to go out and buy complete sets? Factory sealed, ready to go out the door. That's kind of what this reminds me of in a way. Of course it is numbered, there's only 50 of them, but still. I also think it's interesting that they dedicated an entire set to just The Rock. I mean, everybody loves The Rock, right? One of the biggest superstars in entertainment currently, possibly of all time. But when it comes to trading cards specifically, in this day and age, people mainly want the rookie cards, autographs, or low-numbered parallels. And the prices kind of reflect that with this sale. Sure, there are only 50 of them made, and they are serial numbered, and the cards look fantastic once you get them out. But I think from people that I've talked to and kind of market watches that I've seen, people much rather have, say, a gold out of 50 single Rock card than they would this entire set. Going back to the set a minute, I do like how they're kind of put in chronological order of The Rock's career. And again, as I said, the cards are serial numbered and they look fantastic. I just think this is one of those interesting spots where just because you have a huge superstar and you put him on some cardboard doesn't mean it's going to have a big demand or value. And again, I don't know why, but I'm just getting some serious junk wax vibes with this set. I know I'm wrong, but just saying. If you're enjoying this video so far, I just want to take a second to remind you of a few ways you can help support my content. The first thing you can do, and it's easy and it's free, hit that subscribe button that you're looking at right now. Give me a thumbs up on this video if you're digging it, and share this channel with a friend. Tell another wrestling fan, a wrestling card collector, somebody that likes sports cards or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever it is. If you think someone would like this video or this channel, please share it with them. Make sure you check out the podcasts I'm involved with, Wrestling with Cards podcast and the Worlds Collide podcast. Doubling up on audio wrestling card content for your pleasure. And if you're digging those, again, they're available on all popular podcast platforms. Please subscribe, leave us a review, and tell your friends about the show. If you would like to help support my content monetarily, make sure to check out the Wrestling with Cards Patreon page, where for as little as $1 a month, you can have your name in the credits of these videos, and there's higher tiers to exclusive content and other ways you can help get involved with the show. All of that money will go into the costs that go into producing content via video or audio for equipment, etc. Also, check out my eBay store if you'd like to buy something. We've got stuff as little as 99 cents all the way up to some slabs and higher-end wrestling stuff. Check me out all over social platforms, and if you want to buy me a coffee, I've got a hot coffee today, actually. It's very cold out, so no iced coffee today. But if you'd like to donate and buy me a coffee while I record these videos, the links to that and everything else I've spoke about is in the show notes. So I would appreciate if you take a moment to check out the links and contribute if you can. But if not, just keep watching this video. And speaking of, let's get into the next sale. Ric Flair rookie, quote, rare, 1978 Wrestling Annual, PSA 10, $2,605. So with this one, few things. We have the rookie card debate once again. And sure, this came out before the 82 All-Stars and a couple of the other Ric Flair cards from the late 70s and 80s. But it seems like the market and the communities that are collecting these cards consider the 82 Wrestling All-Stars Ric Flair as the card to own. So I'm guessing the RC in the title of this is just trying to throw everybody off or going for a money grab. However, that doesn't mean that this specific card, if we're going to call it a card, is bad. In fact, I think it's awesome. I'm a big fan of this one for a few reasons. Let's start off with the rarity of it. Just about any day of the week, if you want to, you can go out and find a 1982 Wrestling All-Stars Ric Flair card. Now, you gotta watch out for those pesky reprints that you'll see out there, and you may not have one in a specific grade that you want or a specific grading company in the slab that you want, but they're out there. You can't say the same thing about this one, especially a graded copy. And I mean, with this one, you've got the total package. It's signed, it's slabbed, it's hand cut. And the one thing that might stand out to a lot of people is that it's a larger slab. This isn't your standard size trading card. And I know for some people you may not like the bigger slabs, but personally, I've kind of come around on them a little bit. And I've kind of had more of an open mind when I see rare oddball items pop up in bigger slabs, which in the past I used to just push it aside because I was like, oh, well, this isn't the same size as a card, I don't want it. And I think a lot of that, too, could be from seeing 8x10s or magazines or postcards graded. Something about those slabs has just kind of changed my mindset on the size that whatever collectible has to be. So my takeaway with this is always have an open mind when you see something kind of rare, obscure, something you don't see very often or that you've maybe never seen before. Try to keep an open mind when you see those pop up. Don't be afraid to think a little bit differently or collect a little bit differently. Because look at what David Peck was doing on the Blowout forums, along with Rob England and a few others, buying, grading, submitting wrestling cards when everyone laughed at them. How's that worked out for him today? Dwayne Johnson, WWE card, $25,000. Okay, this is a little bit of a joke, but I wanted to talk about it. So here we have a horrible picture, a horrible title, and a horrible base card in horrible condition. There's a lot of horrible going on in this listing. Not to mention, it's from a zero feedback seller. That's always a good sign, right? Apparently sold for $25,000. Well, after a little bit further investigation, I actually couldn't find any trace of this even happening, other than the picture that you've seen. On the initial sold listing, there was a line through it, which I failed to include in this, but I was like, okay, I'll just go find that on 130 point, because I can always find what the offer was accepted. I was expecting a 99 cents or maybe $1, maybe $5 if somebody was feeling very adventurous. However, I couldn't find even that. Very, very shady, you eBay people. But I just wanted to highlight this to prove a point of two things. First off, you can't always believe what you see or hear in the hobby. I know I don't need to tell a lot of people that, but there are a lot of new people coming in, especially with the wrestling card side. AEW has got a lot of people into the hobby recently, and with Panini now doing the WWE products this year, we're going to have even more eyeballs coming on to wrestling. So I'm just trying to help people to not fall for scams like this. The second thing is just kind of some eBay etiquette. If you're going to sell stuff, do better with your listings. Take time to get at least some decent photos. Now with this one specifically, this is a hobby headline sale, right? $25,000, but it didn't appear to actually happen. So what my fear is, there are people out there that say they have this card or say they have something comparable. What they'll do is take this sale and say, okay, well, this beat up base card sold for $25,000. That must mean this one that I have is worth $50. And guys, that's just not the case. So if you're selling on eBay, if you're selling on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, if you're trying to trade with people, just kind of know what you have and, take some considerations when you're pricing and kind of looking at values of certain things. Now, I know this happens in all aspects of the hobby, but on the flip side, maybe this feeds into that negative stereotype of wrestling. Oh, these wrestling people, they don't know how to list stuff on eBay properly. They'll just throw crap up and don't follow through with the sale and say it's worth $1 million. Well, that could be, but like I said, this happens in all aspects of the hobby. Again, just have some eBay etiquette or some professionalism if you're buying, selling, and trading with others. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and tell a friend about the show. Earlier in this episode, I talked about all the ways you can help support my content. If you would like to check out all of that information, links in the show notes. And until the next video comes out, click the video on the screen for more great wrestling card content. We'll see you there.